Who's watching? To post a link on my Instagram, and then I will start to work on it. And also I have to play a different music for myself, because this elevator music doesn't actually convince me for sculpting. It's a bit loud. Okay. Is everything alright? Like the music, my voice, the stream? I just posted on Instagram. Who's watching? Hi, Katya. Hi. So all is looking good. Thank you. Hi, Hadi. Just lowered the volume of the background music so you can hear me well. I think today I will try to add just a little part of this cloth here, because it's actually, I think it's coming from up here, because you can see the color is the same, so it has to be something covering the leg of the angel and coming all the way down here. Let's see. I also got some references from the you know, the museums and churches that I have visited, and I usually like to, you know, watch the classical sculptures and copy the forms. It doesn't have to be exactly the same kind of fabric, but you can just copy some forms, because they're really, you know, interesting. They have this realistic forms, so I always look at them when I'm trying to sculpt fabric, just to see how the fabric might react in different poses and different situations. So first I'm gonna start at maybe sphere. Well, I usually have different kind of ways to sculpt fabric. Sometimes I start with planes and try to, you know, modify. Sometimes I try to make it in Marvelous Designer, and then I edit in ZBrush. Or sometimes I just try to, you know, to study it in Marvelous Designer, and then later I try to kind of, you know, re-sculpt it, but copying the forms that I wanted from Marvelous Designer, because it's more realistic, but sometimes it doesn't really give you what you want, and it's easier to just start sculpting from scratch instead of just bring it in and from Marvelous Designer and try to modify it. So now I think I'm gonna start with sphere. But I have to change the music for myself because it's a little bit too loud. Give me just 1 second. I try to choose something not too much strong with the lyrics. Alright, I think this is better. Maybe with a lower volume, it's better. Okay, so here we are. Just going to get the big forms as usual, as how I always do. Get the big forms done, and then I will try to add more details. This is gonna also help me later with, filling the gaps between the characters. Because as a 3D statue, you don't want to see the gaps. And it's easier always for the printing service. Or if casting is involved, it's also easier for them. I'm gonna inflate this part and just place it here. Now I think I'm gonna also use sculptures because the form of the mesh is not letting me sculpt very well, so I need to use Sculptures Pro even in this kind of situations. Just masking, moving. I do exactly the same thing when I start with a plane, but then with the plane it's I don't know, it's harder because it's not like a clay, it's more of a paper. You have to form the paper and then you have to give it some thickness for the printing. I don't actually want to, mess up the silhouette with this small piece of cloth here, because as I said, in 3D it's different. It might look good in the painting, but in 3D sometimes it's tricky. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna push everything to this side, and maybe just a little bit of rotation can help, because I see that this cloth is almost in the same line with the body of this angel. It's like 1, 2, 3. Like I see a line 1, 2, 3 here. So they have to be in one line. I don't like doing it, but since this is 3D, I can always, play with it, making it like this, like this. It's gonna still remain the same from the main view. This is also another trick for me to, make the sculpts interesting when I have, a reference like this to copy and it doesn't look good when I rotate it like this. It's a way for me to cheat a little bit, because from the other angles it's looking interesting, and then from the main view nothing has changed. So it helps you to keep the main view as it is, but make it more interesting on the other sides, because obviously it is looking interesting as a 2D piece. It's looking really amazing, but in 3D it's tricky, so you have to find ways to make it work, make it interesting from every angle. Also, I feel like this piece of fabric is like behind the angel, so I think I should just move everything. Yeah, maybe this is better, because I see that the shoulder of the angel is quite visible here. It's not actually covering the shoulder. Maybe it's covering the arm. So this amount is okay. And it has this tail looking here. Mask it here and working again. And another thing again for sculpting fabric, I mean, I do this with everything, pretty much everything. I always start with low poly, and like as I see that the big forms are okay, then for adding detail I go high poly. And it doesn't matter which technique you're using. It doesn't matter if you're using Dynamish, if you're using subdivision levels. It's the same. I mean, for me it's the same. Happening here with this angel, because I haven't sculpted this one. It's like in the shadows it's not really visible, but there has to be another angel here in this area. It's gonna kind of fill this part and complete the composition somehow. I have to add it, but not today, later. When I try to move, I mean, sculpting fabric is a little bit difficult, and I found some, like tricks, let's say, or comfortable ways to move stuff around. It's one of the ways, obviously, is to just use masking, and then when I just want to, give it some thickness without actually using a brush, I just use back face mask and try to give it some thickness in the parts that I did. Sculptris Pro to form this part a little bit. As you see, there's this, you know, shadow that shows that kind of the fabric is like inward, yeah, backward a little bit. And now using Sculptris again. Now you can see how I'm actually using Sculptris and where and when I actually use it. I find it really funny that many sculptors hate using Sculptris. It's very useful. It's saving my life every time. See, there is this line here, so I'm guessing that it has to be a big fold here. Something like this. It's always easier to, you know, break it down into smaller chunks, like from biggest forms to the smaller forms, to be able to you know, to replicate the same forms from the main view of the illustration. So I see like 3 folds here with 2 lines in between, so all I have to do is just make 2 lines here to make 3 folds. But then I have to mask it here and move everything with, not with the back face mask, move everything backward. Because we don't want to, you know, get it into the shoulder of the angel. Katya wrote, "Will you print this one? I can already imagine cutting process." Well, good point. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna print it for sure one day, but I think, yeah, the cutting is gonna be a really big problem. Not problem, but it's gonna be difficult to do. And also there's this wave here. I see that this is going back to be like, how do you call it, the waist of the angel, and then is going like outward, following the form of the hip of the angel. It's very interesting. So it's like going inward here and then outward, following the form of the hip of the angel. And then if I want to be really correct, I should say that this leg has to be shorter, or another trick for studying perspective is that you don't necessarily need to make it short, but you can always play with the perspective, get this leg and just give me 1 second. To place it in the right place. Oops. And then like move it backward Now, as you can see, it looks shorter, but maybe that was too much, because it has to be like in this, you know, line. So maybe just a little bit. Yeah, it's better now. And this spot is arriving a little bit lower than the knee, like the back of the knee. So this has to be here. And also this. And this is really delicate, like really thin. And maybe again, all of these things has to move to this side. But this part has to be thinner. How many people are watching? Okay, 4 people. I missed last week's live. I mean, I did it. Hey, D-Max. Hello, big bro. What's up? I was saying that, yeah, I missed last week's live stream because I had a problem with my computer. I did it with my iPad, sculpting with ZBrush for iPad. And then later I realized that the connection was not really good and the video quality was really horrible, so I had to delete it. But it was a fun stream, I can say. I liked it a lot. Maybe in the future I should do more sculpting with ZBrush for iPad. Maybe one day streaming with like desktop ZBrush and one day streaming with ZBrush for iPad, because I find it really interesting. It's like really chill, very relaxed. I just fixed my computer, I think today, and I wasn't lucky because since this morning the electricity of the building went away like for like 3 times I think, and every time I lost 30 minutes of work. But it's alright now. Okay, one other thing that I see here is that this fabric is reaching to this part of the arm of the angel, so I think I have to move everything a little bit lower. Oh, this part of the fabric has to arrive here. For now, I'm just trying to play with the silhouette, and then later I'm gonna add the details. push this part inward a bit more. And here again, I'm gonna need to use the Sculptress Pro. Good negatives. What do you mean? Sorry, I didn't get it. Maybe a little bit more. I have to push this fabric. Make it reach. Or maybe I should I think I should move the whole angel more to the top because it's closer to the god actually. Maybe like this, with the hair included. In the silhouette, yeah. I always do this. If I learned one thing very well, I can say that it's doing everything step by step. This is the only thing that I learned so well, and it's actually helping me a lot. Because I'm not a very patient person, and I always want to see the final result, but that's not how it is in real life. You have to always be patient and do everything step by step. I like it. I think I also want to add the frame that I'm always telling you guys on the live stream, that I want it to be in a frame. I got inspired by Roman Lappat for this kind of, dioramas. And I want to see it in a frame actually. A little bit like this. Maybe I would want it to come out of the frame. Let's see the painting. Thanks, T-Max. Yeah, I think it has to be in a frame like this, a big square. Maybe closer a little bit. Just blocking out these blocks just to just to understand how this is gonna look with the frame. I actually like it so much with the frame, but maybe I would like to make something like this. Yeah, I like it better now. But then I have to decide what I'm going to do with this part. Well, here in the in the painting, it doesn't actually show what's happening here, so I think I can try to imitate the style a little bit and try to add something by myself, like I don't know, like a piece of stone here or something like that. Or maybe I should look for more references to understand which idea could be better. I like more only the bottom. Yeah, it's as I said, I usually do the bottom plinth. I do the base just for the bottom. This is the first time I'm thinking of something like this because I saw it in Roman Lapat's dioramas and I find it really interesting. And I thought maybe it's gonna look good like this, but we can always try. Maybe I can see it like this a little bit, see if I really like it like that, and then decide, or I don't know. We'll see about it. Trying to also find the right silhouette for this part of the fabric, because if there is this base or frame here, then I don't want it to get cut by the base or frame. I want it to be either like this or like this. But I have to decide. Maybe like this looks better. We'll see. I always change ideas like many times. I think I'm gonna also go live also on Instagram just for a few more minutes. Just trying to check and see how many people are watching here. It's already 8 people. And yeah, I think I'll also go live on Instagram. Okay. Let's see if it's live. I think I have to wait. Yeah, I have to wait, I think. Getting ready. What are you guys thinking? If you have any ideas, please write in the comments. I would love to hear what you guys thinking about the frame and also about this form of the fabric so far. Okay, let's do it again. It's now going live on Instagram. Sorry, I messed it up a little bit on Instagram. So D-Max wrote, just the base below makes the piece breathe. Big bro, you always have the best ideas. Especially if we consider that above is the sky. That's true. It makes it more metaphorical. I think that enclosing it loses. That's very logical actually. But maybe it looks good, as you say, in the end it is all about trying. yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to understand if this is good or not. And also, as I said, this is my first time trying with the frame, so it's a bit like a trial. Let's see. Still, Instagram Live is not working. Strange. Okay, I'll do it again. Have to copy some stuff because I'm going live both at the same time, both on Instagram and on YouTube, so it's a bit different. It's not simple like clicking one button. Trying now. Okay. Alright. It has to work now. So for now, I think I'm kind of happy with the silhouette. Just a little bit of this part is still not convincing. Yeah, maybe I should change this part before doing anything else. So I mask everything here. And I try to push everything to the shoulder of the angel. And this part looks strange. Let's see if we can find anything similar in this drawing, this reference, sorry. Similar here actually. Do we have one more? But it's still nothing similar. It looks like it's coming over the other part. It looks like there's another fold, something like this. It looks like this. Maybe this is a good reference to look at. It's like we have this part, and then on the other part is on the bottom, like here. This is one part, and then there's another part. If I zoom in, I see like this. But I think my Instagram Live is not working. Could you guys just check and see if the stream is on Instagram? If any of you can do it. I'll just try to copy everything again. Streaming, yeah. Okay. I think I made a mess. I'll try one more time. Okay, so it's not working. Okay. Trying one more time, and let's pray that it's gonna work this time. To work now. Hello Instagram people. Hello. Hello Torbjorn. people already watching on Instagram. So I'm live again both on Instagram and YouTube. You can see the wider screen on YouTube, but on Instagram you can see it smaller, so you can choose which one you want to watch or which one is more convenient for you to watch. So for Instagram people, I am trying to sculpt this little fabric here, the green one, and I started with the sphere. I can show you after saving. I have to save first, and then I can show you the process so far with the history of the. So we started like this with the sphere, and I always try to start with big forms, and once I'm happy with the silhouette I go for the details. So far we're here. Hello Dave, hello Andre, hi everyone. So now I'm trying to sculpt another fold here because the silhouette is a bit different. I'm trying to sculpt this part. I see two folds and then another one on top of it. So it's gonna be something similar to this one, to this fold here. I took this picture in Vatican. I found this sculpture interesting, and I always have a bunch of this kind of classical sculptures to look at it when I'm sculpting, especially fabric, because fabric is really difficult and very tricky. And to make it realistic, I try to always have real statues, like classical realistic statues to look at. And here I found something similar to what I have here. So I'm trying to look at this and also look at the picture that I took at Vatican, to both of them. So I think I also need to push this a little bit backward. I'm trying to make this part similar to a fold that is folded backward, like that is going backward instead of, you know, going down like all the other folds. If you guys have any comment or feedback or any opinion, please write it to me both on Instagram and also on YouTube. I think I'm gonna also use Inflate without Sculptress Pro to make it first bigger, and once I'm happy I can make it smaller, because it's difficult to work on the smaller form, but when it's big you can always this is another trick. When it's big you can always add the detail better, and when you rescale it and you scale it down, it also looks more refined, like it looks like it's more refined, the lines and the folds and everything. So 8 people watching on Instagram and no one is writing anything. Do you guys also have music on Instagram, or you don't have the background music? Do you hear the music on Instagram? Because the last time no one heard it. I want to make sure that I fix the problem this time. Bend the left knee of the character below a little more. That's right, D-Max. That's right. The knee a little bit is bended. It looks a little bit straight. You're right. Thank you. You always have the eyes to see all the detail like this. Claudio on Instagram wrote: "Sì, sì, sente la musica, ma la voce è un po' bassa." Okay, I'll do the translation. He says that the music is on, but it's a little bit low volume. I'll fix that later for the next live. Do you also hear me low volume, or it's just the music? Because I think I also speak a little bit lower. Don't know why. It's because the music that I'm listening to is low. It helps me to concentrate better. Okay. So which one do you guys prefer to watch? I'm asking this every time because I want to make sure. Do you prefer to watch the stream, seeing me sculpting on Instagram, or do you prefer to watch on YouTube? Because I got really different feedback on this. Or you prefer both? I think it's maybe too much bended. I need to fix it. Like this, a little bit. Let's see from the main view. Yeah, and now I have to move it backward, bend it backward a little. It doesn't look correct. I need to, I think there is a huge muscle here, and there's a big curve here that makes it look like it's bended, but it's not actually bended. Or maybe I should try myself in the same pose, because I always do that when I don't find a similar reference, or when I cannot read it from the reference. I always do the pose and try to understand how it has to be, like in real life. Just a little bit again to the. Now I'm using two different methods, using subdivision levels and also dynamish. So here subdivision level is helping me to not lose the detail or get my character too much distorted. Hello people on Instagram. Hello everyone. And also there's this big muscles here. That makes it look even more bended. And there's no line here. It has to be like this. so cute. Look how fat it is. I have to fix this later. It shouldn't be this fat. It looks like hobbit feet. Hello, Andre. Okay, for now let's go back to the fabric, and then I will try to figure out how to fix this bend in the knee of the angel. Claudio wrote, I think the overall volume might be low. If I have my phone speaker volume at max, I can hear your voice better. It could be your distance from the microphone. That's true, my microphone is here. Maybe it's covered under my hair. How is it now? I will try to speak louder. And no more comments. Come on, guys. Write me your opinion. Tell me what you're thinking so far. And if you have any feedback, let me know. Okay, I think now I have to move this a little bit lower. But before that, I also need to make this part smaller and move it to the right. Hi, Wolf. How's it going? All good. We're here just playing with this fabric. And yeah, I still don't feel like I'm not convinced with this part. I feel like it has to be okay. There is another thing that I have to take care of. Now we need dam standard. My another favorite brush. Oh, sorry. And to fix the mesh here, as you can see, it's broken. I'm using Sculptors Pro, and I'm trying to make two perfect folds here. But I don't want to go too much detail because I know that I'm gonna change it a lot. So for now, I'm gonna use inflate and decide where I want to put another fold, because this has to be lower, because I see it like lower than the shoulder of the angel, so it has to be somewhere here. But maybe I should use smooth instead of with the brush, and then fix it like this. Hello people on Instagram. Hello everyone. So it has to end before the head. So we shouldn't see anything here. It is ending here. And then there's just another small part here that we can see. There's a small part of the green fabric showing here in the middle between the god and the angel. Someone wrote on Instagram, at what point level does your model have to start posing? I start posing from the very beginning. Like, I always start in pose. I always start sculpting in pose. Otherwise, I cannot manage to do it, because I don't see it like useful to do some detail in A pose or T pose, for example, and then you have to pose the character and you have to lose all the detail that you added and then redo everything, because that's how it should be, because the muscles and everything, all the detail, like pretty much everything changes in different poses. So I never do it. I find it really difficult not difficult, but I find it really useless to sculpt in A pose and then take it to the pose. Claudio on YouTube, your volume are a bit low on YouTube as well. It could be the distance from the microphone. I actually ordered a new microphone, so be patient. Next live will be better, I hope. So I will also try to speak a little bit louder, because it's in the maximum volume on the OBS when I'm streaming. So it's not the volume, it has to be the distance, my distance from the microphone. Hello people on Instagram. Hi Amy, ciao, grazie. Thank you, Bash. What about for animation purposes? Well, yeah, that's obviously that's different. For animation, you have to be careful with many things, and sculpting in A pose or T pose is a must. So for sculpting, I find it really useless to start sculpting in A pose or T pose. I prefer to always start in the pose. Actually, I also have a tutorial fully explaining how I'm starting in pose using a mannequin from here, ZBrush Projects. There is this mannequin here that you can find for everything. You can find for like for creatures, animals, for female, male. You can find for everything, and then you can like get the right proportions first with the mannequin, and then use the Dynamesh to make a solid mesh, and then you can just use group by group. For example, one group for the arm, one group for the hand, one group for the fingers, one group for the torso, one group for the legs, and one group for the feet, and then try to modify everything. Because as I said, when I'm sculpting, even at this level that I am now, this is gonna change a lot until I finish. I'm gonna change a lot, move everything from here, even changing like the pose of the characters is gonna happen. So I always try to don't waste time with sculpting in pose, in A pose, sorry. Thanks, Claudio. Hello people on Instagram. Thanks, Federica. Thanks, big sister. Love received. Sending you love back. I think there is a big volume here, and now I have to just move everything inward. But I'm still not happy with this fold on the top. It doesn't look that much realistic. So I need to make this part too much inward. Trying to capture this form here. It looks like a triangle. Still not happy. Maybe without the Sculptors Pro. So I don't want to add more details, but at the same time I'm not happy with the silhouette. But I think my eyes just got used to it. I'm not really happy with this part because I feel like it has to be lower first of all, something like this. And because we barely can see these two lines here, you see, there's these two lines here disappear. Or maybe, okay, now that I zoomed in, I can see what is the problem. There's one line here going down, and then there's second line here, which is not going down. It stops here and folds backward. And then again, it folds again in this way. It's why it's so tricky. So from distance, like when I didn't zoom in, I thought that there's two lines going down, and then there's another fold on top of it. But now that I zoomed in, I can see that there's only one line, like one fold, and the other one is actually folding backward. Surgical gesture. Since I'm living in Italy, I have to speak with my hands. It's funny because I literally stop when I try to explain something. I literally stop working and I start to, you know, use my hands to speak. But I don't actually use Italian hand gestures. But still, it's funny that I'm not able to talk without my hands. Claudio wrote on YouTube, how long do you think this will take you to complete this piece? Are you planning on 3D printing it as well? Since I'm only working on it on my live sessions, and it's usually not more than 1 hour, and I'm not really concentrated when I'm actually streaming. I'm not really concentrated on sculpting. So I'm considering both speaking, reading the comments, checking the internet. The music is not what I want, and I'm not really fast. So I think this is gonna take like, I don't know, maybe 1 more month, if we consider it like 4 times of opening the file. I think I will be able to finish, or maybe not. We'll see about that. But yeah, also I want to print this one. This is gonna be a 3D printed piece. I always print everything that I sculpt. Usually I do. But I haven't printed some of my artworks. Some of them that are like personal, and I'm not planning to sell, and I'm not like happy with the result yet. I feel like I have to work more, and I still have a bunch of files in my computer that I don't know what to do with yet. Wolf asked on YouTube, are you planning on entering this somewhere? You mean for the competition? No, but I might bring it to show. Like, if it's finished for contrast, it might be at contrast. Might be, if I finish it until that time. By the way, are you going to contrast, Wolf? So I think, yeah, there's another fold here, something like this, because I can see there is a fold here, but then I have to scale it down because it's not really that big. It's very tiny and small. This part in general has to get smaller. Yeah, that's great. We are expecting Wolf at contrast. That's great. Hello, people on Instagram. Hello, everyone. All right. Let's try to scale everything down. Yeah, I was saying that I'm not really a multitasking person. Like if I'm working, I'm working. If I'm speaking, I'm speaking. If I'm talking to someone, I'm only focused on talking to someone. I cannot do more than one thing at the same time. I'm still not happy because this part looks big. I need to also scale it down here. But I'm not actually finished with the hair of the guy. If I finish that, maybe it's gonna help. This has to be big. This has to be long, actually, because it is long here. I can see that there is this, you know. I mean, it's a little bit stylized, to be honest. It looks like it's this silky kind of material for the fabric, but at the same time it looks a little bit stylized. But here it looks like a solid piece of fabric. So let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to make it bigger here. but I have to be careful to not overdo it because we don't want to see a big volume here showing. It has to go backward like this to kind of hide that volume. Okay, now I start to feel like I like it. I also need to flatten this area. And like this. It's a little bit curved here, so maybe a curve like this is gonna help to make it similar. Yeah, there's a curve here. All right, I think I'm very happy so far. Seven people watching on Instagram. Let's see how many people is watching on YouTube. 7 people on YouTube as well. I will have to also try to post more content on YouTube because I'm barely posting anything. I posted a short video on YouTube, but it got only 1 like. So I was very surprised, like, oh, okay, so this means that if I don't post my live link on Instagram, no one is gonna watch me on YouTube. It's like people coming to watch me on YouTube are actually coming from Instagram because I didn't post the link of that short video on Instagram, and it just got only one like or 2, I think. So Knight Ensign is asking, what is this piece for? Selling purpose? No. I think I don't think I'm gonna sell it, but maybe yes. But for now, I'm thinking to just finish it first and print a copy to show maybe at contrast in a show, in an event or something. And then later, maybe I will sell, I don't know. But I didn't think of selling like from the beginning. It was just for me to enjoy and to study Michel Angelo. Okay, maybe just a little bit more of the folds is gonna help. Here I see there's a big form curved to this side, something like this. Pieces based on the great masters would be awesome to have available for painters to buy. That's also true. Like people like to, paint, for example, from Michelangelo or Bernini to study, as I am doing the study with, with the sculpting part. Yeah, I'll consider to think about selling actually. Claudio wrote on YouTube, why did you choose to sculpt this piece? Are inspired by Michelangelo in general or to study a particular space of the aspects of the work? Well, I think also to study Michelangelo, but also I think I mentioned on my previous lives that As a kid, I used to imagine God as how Michelangelo painted in this painting, like an old, wise man with gray hair and big arms and big muscles and big physics in general. And I found it really interesting that at that time as a kid I never even saw this painting by Michelangelo. And then later when I saw it, I found it really funny that it's exactly how I used to imagine it. And I'm not really a religious person, but I found it really interesting. So I was like, okay, I want to study Michelangelo, and this piece is already interesting. I started it for fun and then ended up actually doing it. There is a hair on my nose. It's actually very annoying. All right, I like this form here. A little bit to the left, something like this. Yes, it's exactly how I want it to be. How long have you been sculpting? This is my eighth session, I think, of live streaming, and I worked on the piece a little more before that. So probably I worked on it for 1 hour 10 times, I think. Razi word wrote on Instagram. Is this the only reference you're using? Mm, not only one. I'm also using this kind of pictures that I took in Vatican to help me understand the forms of the classical sculptures with fabric, because they are really interesting and very realistic. It's good to study. Mm, you meant in my life? How long have you been sculpting? Ah, okay. How long have I been sculpting in my life in general? I started sculpting like seriously since 2021. Yeah, 2021. Thanks. Thank you. Like, did you start sculpting young? No, 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 no. I mean, yeah and no. Like, not like as a 15 years old, but yeah, I started like, you know, 4 years ago. If that's young. I started young. Did you do any other form of art before sculpting? Yes, I did pencil drawing for a long time since I was a kid, but never actually took any classes or never took it seriously. I was an architect before, so that is also something related. Also, I tried oil painting, but all by myself, just a few times playing because I was always curious about art and studying things, but not that much of a, academic study or serious kind of things. That was my question too. Seems like it from the level. Thank you. Well, yeah, I mean, I was into art always. I used to do a lot of artistic stuff for fun, but I never actually took any of them seriously. But when I found out about sculpting, I was really mad. I was like, I wasted years of my life studying architecture and then working in architecture field. It was all wasted. That's how I thought. But now that I think about it, it's not really a waste at all. It was a very good experience. Maybe it could be better if I started to sculpt from the beginning, but I didn't know. Now I know. I have all the time that I want to sculpt, so I'm grateful about it. How much how much Iranian is in you? What do you mean? I'm like 100% Iranian. I'm Iranian. I'm living in Italy, but I grew up in Iran. I'm gonna use the back face mask again to give this part a volume. It's too thin. Very nice. Michelangelo is my inspiration too. Is this a personal project? Yes, it is. It is personal. Claudio on YouTube wrote, "What got you into sculpting miniatures?" I I had friends online on Discord from Spain and from South America, Spanish speakers, because I was very into Spanish language. I was learning Spanish, and then like I found out about sculpting because it was a group of people for learning and doing 3D together on this Discord, and then we had this sessions of sculpting together on Friday nights. It was me, Felipe, Alex, and Frisky. I think four of us, yeah. And it was 4 a.m. for me doing it, and for them it was like 10 p.m., something like that. And I was so in love with sculpting that after 1 week I quit my job, and I moved back to live with my mom, and I started to take it serious, and I started to learn sculpting, learn ZBrush, learn techniques, and they helped me a lot. Actually, one of the guys from this Discord is probably watching still. D-Max, are you still there? D-Max is one of the guys from the Discord server that I just told you. He's actually the owner of this channel. He's the king, the king. Probably he's not watching anymore. Hey, D-Max, if you're still there, say something. Let us know that you're still there. You're the one who created this magical Discord channel that made many people learn and grow and, you know, do fun activities, laughing, joking, a lot of fun activities together. I think it's already more than 1 hour that I'm sculpting, so probably it's better to stop. If you guys have any questions or any last words, write it please. And in just a few minutes, I'm going to stop streaming. Thank you so much, all of you, for watching and supporting. I appreciate it so much. I will do this again next week on Monday evening. Where are you going live again? When are you going live again? Yes, I'm going to go live again next week on Monday evening, pretty much the same hour as today. And yeah, thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate your support. Thank you for watching, and see you next week.